morning and welcome to the next episode in my River Severn vlogs. Basically this one is not as planned. This is fishing a rising River Severn. Yeah, the weather's been pretty mild. Water temperatures have kept quite high, sort of 10 degrees, which is ideal for barbel fishing. So planned to come up here. It wasn't planned to be on a rising river. The forecast earlier in the week really was good all week, and so got my friend Darren a guest ticket and arranged to come up here. And yeah, then there's been, certainly 2 days ago, Wales had loads of rain, which will just be hitting the Severn where we are now. Yesterday there was probably 8 hours of rain in Ironbridge anyway, so yeah, the river's really up. So if I had a choice, it would be don't come fishing on a rising river. That's my personal experience. Never good. Too much crud and things coming through, especially on this stretch. There's, you know, I've already been wiped out in my first swim. I'm in my second swim already by a whole tree coming down. I quickly got the left-hand rod in, but didn't get the right-hand rod in time. So there's no way you're winding a tree in. So that was all that gear lost. I have fished here before with a dead cow floating past me, probably at 20 mile an hour, whizzing past. So yeah, River Severn, certainly this stretch on a rising river, is not where you want to be. But needs must, we're here. So yeah, tips for fishing a rising river. Definitely, you're not going to fish the far side because you'll never hold bottom with whatever you put out there. So you want to be fishing your near margin. Still fish on the crease, but this side of the crease rather than the other side of the crease is where you want to be. I shorten my lengths down, my hook lengths, definitely no more than 2 foot. I don't want them frailing all along. I will use a penny-shaped gripper lead that will hold bottom, but you don't want 6 foot of rig all floating along and doing whatever the current's doing to it. So I go down to 2 foot, and I may even come down to 1 foot if I'm still having problems. It seems all right in this swim. As I said, the first swim I went in, I shouldn't have gone in it. I went in it because I've caught fish there before and it's a good swim, but the water was hacking through there, and yeah, it just wasn't a good swim to be in. It's very dangerous. I mean, fortunately I always bring the dog spike and rope, but if not, I probably would have been in the river 3 times in that swim, and that was enough. With all the debris flying through and everything, that was enough for me to move swims. So as I say, I'm in this swim. I've chosen this swim where the current is a little bit slower. It's still fast. I'm fishing literally a rod length out, no, 2 rod lengths out, just on the near side crease. Putting the baits in, rod tips up as high as you can get them. The less line you can have on the water surface, the less tow you've got. So yeah, and keep an eye on the water, definitely. As I say, I've been in this swim probably 40 minutes, and when I put my pod down, it wasn't in the water. The front of it's already in the water, so the river is rising pretty quick. I'm sure this won't be the swim where I finish the day. You know, the baits are out, and we'll see what we can do. See if we can catch a barbel or 2. And yeah, I'll update this later on when we move swims, or with a fish if I've got a fish. So speak to you then. Okay, little update. So yeah, moved into the 3rd swim of the day. Usual thing for me, 3 swims in a day. Darren's not had anything yet. That second swim that I was in, literally I had to move out. The water was coming up too far, and yeah, literally I'd packed everything away bar the rods and net, and had a bite and played it. Like I say, that was an awkward little swim to land a fish in, but successfully landed it. So just left him sitting in the net for 5 minutes while I just got the scales out. And yeah, the Mac police will hate the photo, but I didn't, as I said, I'd already packed everything away. And there was loads of soft wet grass there, so I just weighed the fish in the net, and it was 6 pounds on the nose after I'd knocked the weight of the net off. and quickly photographed it just on the soft grass, put the net back in the water, let it rest for another 5 minutes while I just packed the rods and bits away. And yeah, now we're up here in that swim where I had a fish from in the last Barbel vlog. And amazing, just to give an idea of how much the water is up. If you watched one before, when I put the fish back, I put it back and I was just standing in the water and it was about 2 inches deep, up against some reeds that are about 4 foot high. Well, those reeds are almost totally underwater now, so the river's up nearly 4 foot. Yeah, and since moving here, you know, it's trees and things going down the river. It's tough conditions, but just fishing in the slacks, and Darren's doing the same with a couple of pegs up, fishing the slack water. And I don't think it'll be at the moment with the sun still on the water, but I think late afternoon, just before we have to pack up, I think there's a good chance of a bite. So our update just before then, just before we go really, to say what's happened. I don't think there's a lot more I could say about fishing on a rising river other than today just showing all the reasons why, in my opinion, you don't fish on a rising river. You know, I've read on various forums and things and Facebook, people waxing lyrical about fishing a rising river, but I've never done well on it, never at all. And yeah, if I was a fish, there's no way I'd be out in the flow with all these trees and crud coming down. So that's my 2 penn'orth worth anyway. So yeah. Oh, I know what I didn't say, these really smelly baits. So this morning I went out with spicy sausage, oozing spicy sausage, hook baits, and E-lip, not E-lip pellets. I was putting E-lip pellets out, but it's an E-lip dumbbell sort of boily thing that leaks off. Ironically though, I changed that to a smelly cheesy garlic oozing bait, and that was probably only in the river 10 minutes. So yeah, that's another important thing on a rising coloured river for me, strong smelling baits. So yeah, as I said, update this just before we go. Hopefully we've both had a fish to show the camera. See you then. Okay, so just going to wrap up the vlog now. It's yeah, it's the moves this afternoon were certainly good for Darren. We both fished the slack waters, which was literally an underarm flick. That said, where I am, the river changed probably an hour ago, and it's not slack now. I mean, the speed's not too bad there, but it's definitely not slack. So I've not had anything yet. So, but I still fancy something. Like I say, we've got about half an hour left till we have to pack up, and if I do have something extra, I will somehow edit it into the vlog. Meanwhile, Darren has also just underarm flick it, literally one rod out his feet, one rod length out. I went along to see him earlier, and I was facing his rods and he was facing me as we talked, and his right hand rod just hooped over 2 big bangs. So he quickly dived on that, and that was a £5 5-ounce barbel. Yeah, so he was well happy with that one. We photographed that barbel. We left it in the net to rest for 5 minutes. He chucked the right hand rod back out on the same spot, and within 2 minutes it had gone. So now he was playing a fish with a fish already in the landing net. So long story short, he landed that one, and that one was £5 6-ounce, an ounce heavier than the other one. Had the first one not been in the net, we may well have thought it was the same fish again. But yeah, nonetheless, so he's put that rod back out, and about an hour ago had another take on the same rod. He's ready for a non-orthodox barbel bite any second now. £9.4, so he's had a really good afternoon. 3 fish in, I don't know how long we've been up here, probably 5 hours maybe. So 3 fish in 5 hours, very good fishing, very happy with the way it's gone. Tips for fishing a rising river, or certainly, you know, maybe not all rivers are like this when they're rising, but a rising Severn at Coalport, Iron Bridge, Bridge North, anywhere around there. Ideally, if you can, don't bother going. If you've got to go, my experience is, again, as I've said before, be prepared to keep changing swims. If you've not had something in a couple of hours, up sticks and move. Find the slack water and fish the slack water. There's no point chucking your rods out in the middle. We've had all sorts, whole trees coming past us, half trees, all sorts flowing down the river today. 2 dead sheep have gone past. So yeah, you're not going to catch fish out in that flow. It's not where they are. So don't do that. Shorter hook lengths. So I went down to 2-foot hook lengths. So did Darren. As I think I said in the last vlog, Darren's only started barbel fishing. August was his first ever trip. So he's just doing what I would do. So shorter hook lengths, smelly baits. The barbel I had this morning was on the cheesy garlic oozing bait, and the 3 Darren's had this afternoon have been on the oozy spicy sausage hook baits. So yeah, in a nutshell, I think that's all you can do when the river's rising. Fish the right spots, smelly baits, short hook lengths, get that rubber bead that I said in the first vlog up your line. I mean, every time you wind your rods in, Darren's the same, you wind it in, you've got to shed loads of leaves all around that little rubber bead. If it wasn't there, that would be down on your lead, and some of it would probably be on your hook, so you don't want that. And lastly, try and enjoy your time on the bank. You know, we've walked through a donkey field and had the donkeys entertaining us. Sat here this afternoon, all the sheep around me. At one point they came right up close to me. So it's not just about the fishing, I guess. So yeah, enjoy your fishing even if you're not catching. So thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this, please subscribe and watch some of my other vlogs. And yeah, hopefully see you on the bank sometime in the near future. Bye for now.